Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here bringing you another Minecraft World War II BAFTA build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building USS North Carolina BB-55. USS North Carolina BB-55 is the lead ship of the North Carolina class of fast battleships and the first vessel built of the type for the United States Navy. Built under the Washington Treaty System, North Carolina's design was limited in displacement and armament, though the United States used a clause in the Second London Naval Treaty to increase the main battery from the original armament of 12 14-inch or 356mm guns in quadruple turrets to 9 16-inch or 406mm guns in triple turrets. The ship was laid down in 1937 and completed in April 1941, while the United States was still neutral during World War II. Following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in December, North Carolina was mobilized for war and was initially sent to counter a possible sortie by the German battleship Tirpitz. Though this did not materialize in North Carolina, was promptly transferred to the Pacific to strengthen Allied forces during the Guadalcanal campaign. There she screened aircraft carriers engaged in the campaign and took part in the Battle of the Eastern Solomons on August 24th through the 25th, 1942, where she shot down several Japanese aircraft. The next month, she was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine but was not seriously damaged. After repairs, she returned to the campaign and continued to screen carriers during the campaigns across the Central Pacific in 1943 and 1944, including the Gilberts and Marshall Islands and the Mariana and Palau Islands, where she saw action during the Battle of the Philippine Sea. The ship was undergoing a refit during the invasion of the Philippines, but took part in the later stages of the Philippines campaign and was present when the fleet was damaged by the Typhoon Cobra. She took part in the offensive operations in support of the battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa in 1945, including numerous attacks on Japan. Following the surrender of Japan in August, she carried American personnel home during the Operation Magic Carpet. North Carolina operated briefly off the east coast of the United States in 1946 before being decommissioned the next year and placed in reserve. Stricken from the Naval Register in 1960, the ship was saved from the breaker's yard by a campaign to preserve the vessel as a museum ship in her namesake state. In 1962, the North Carolina Museum was opened in Wilmington, North Carolina. So yeah, the USS North Carolina here is an awesome battleship, and I've personally had the honor of actually being able to go and visit this battleship, and I'd say it's really cool because it's actually in its World War II configuration. The IWAs are super cool to see, but they have that modernization that took place during the Gulf War and all that stuff. So this here was really cool to see them actually have this ship kind of done back in its original World War II look and what it would have looked like during the war. So that's really cool to see, and honestly just made the ship that much more special because it definitely felt like you were standing on a piece of World War II naval history. So yeah, really awesome ship, and it's a super cool museum. Definitely highly recommend if any of you guys ever get the chance to visit Wilmington, North Carolina. With that though, we'll go ahead and take a look at the ship. Now the ship is done up in the measure 3218D, I think is what they call the color scheme that we have here. This was the scheme that was used by the North Carolina in 1944 and always to the end of the war. And I think it's really cool. It's very similar to that of the museum ship. The museum ship has a different shades that they used for the coloring, but this here is more accurate to what it would have actually looked like, in service. So with that, we can go ahead and jump in here to taking a look at the ship. So start off with, we have the bow of the ship here. Really, obviously nothing too fancy. Has a lot of anti-aircraft 20mm Orkans up here, represented with the flower pots for those positions. Pretty straightforward. We then have our two forward turrets. Again, these are 16-inch guns, quad turrets. Really cool stuff. Absolutely massive turrets. Going inside them, they seem a lot bigger than that of like the Iowa or whatever, but I'm sure that they're about the same size. Going further back, we have the conning tower, superstructure, all of this stuff. So all your instruments, everything like that, located up on top here. Really nothing too fancy. The midship section, you get your 5-inch guns. Again, anti-aircraft guns sprued around this thing. It does definitely have a ton of anti-aircraft capabilities for this ship, so it's always cool. We have the two funnels, the rear mass, the rear superstructure here again has some of the more fire control systems and still gun directors and all that kind of stuff located there. And then we have our rear turret. Again, same thing as the front ones there. Your triple 16-inch gun turrets. Then further back, we have our crane here, our seaplanes, all that stuff, and that's basically the back there of the ship, and that's going to complete. The camouflage is the same for both sides. Realistically, it was different, if I remember correctly, but Just for the sake of the tutorial, I did make sure both sides are the same to make things a little bit easier for us going forward. And as you may be wondering, we will be doing the camouflage in the tutorial, so we'll be going ahead and building it along as we progress through it. So something to kind of look forward to if you are into that kind of stuff. But with that, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Moving on to our first layer of the build, we will be going ahead and starting off layer 1. Now, if you're completely new to my BAFTA build tutorials, what I like to do for these bigger ships is I like to do about the first few layers of the whole section, half on camera, half off. So what this means for you guys is I'm going to be building the center line of the ship on camera, and then I'll be building the right side, and then it'll be up to you guys to copy the right side over to the left side. We're going to do this for about the first 4 layers or so to go ahead and just get the whole built up. And then once we get to the more difficult superstructure, I'll be covering how to do both sides all together. Now just know that we will be building this ship with the camouflage as we progress up it, so just keep in mind we're going to be going ahead and having to do a lot of block swapping and stuff like that, so this tutorial is going to be a little bit longer when it comes to doing the camouflage. If you don't want to do the camouflage, you can simply do the ship entirely in the stone design, or you can go ahead and add you know, different stuff to it if you want to as well. So there's definitely a bunch of things you can do to go ahead and, you know, camouflage this up or do whatever you want. A lot of flexibility, but we will be doing it in the camouflage you can see here in front of us. Now, let's go ahead and get started with this first layer here. Now, to make sure you position this correctly in the water, you will want to make sure your layer 1 here sits basically a block underneath the water surface. This line of blue concrete here represents that water surface, and this is right below it. So, very important to make sure that that is set up and good to go, because that is going to dictate how your ship is, again, going to sit in the water. Now, once we have that done, we want to go ahead and start off by placing down a red stained glass paint. Again, this could be that under the water, just like this at this point here. Then we're going to go ahead and take our red concrete, and we're going to build a row of red concrete all the way down the center line here of the ship. This here is going to be a total of 35 blocks. So again, we have from that red stained glass paint, 35 red concrete blocks back, then 2 red nether brick top slabs. Coming off this last red concrete block, we're going to place down a red nether brick wall on the side, then 1, 2, 3, 4 walls back, and then we're going to place down an acacia wood top slab. After that acacia wood top slab, we're going to place down a red stained glass paint, and then a red nether brick wall, like that, to go ahead and finish it off. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down a acacia wood sign on the side of this wall here, and then we want to place down a birch wood top slab, followed by another acacia wood fence gate right here, and then we're going to place down 2 lightning rods coming off that fence gate going forward. Once we get to this point here, we're going to go off the red nether brick wall here. We're going to place down a red concrete block, and we're going to go ahead and take that red concrete block and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 red concrete blocks forward. I'm going to go and double check the count, but this should be a total of 28 counting this first block. Actually, it's supposed to be 29, so looks like I missed count there somewhere. Just make sure that this row entirely is 29 blocks in length. We're going to go then place down a red nether brick wall, then 2 red stained glass panes, and then an acacia wood trapdoor and close that on the front there like that. Once that's done, we're going to place down another acacia wood trapdoor here on the side of the second block, red stained glass pane back, and a red nether brick wall. We're going to take our red concrete, we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 red concrete blocks back. And then we're going to place down our red nether brick up sound stair. We then want to go ahead and go off this second block here from the last. We're going to place down a red stained glass pane, then 2 red nether brick walls forward, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 red concrete blocks forward, 2 more red stained glass panes, 2 red nether brick walls, and then 2 red stained glass panes. And then we're going to place down 2 acacia wood trapdoors forward from that. So just like that. And once you have that all done, that's going to be everything you need to have set up here for your first layer, layer 1. Here is the top-down view. Once you take your right side and copy it over to the left side, this here is what that design will look like for the bottom. And once we have that all done, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 1 of the build, and we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we'll be moving into layer 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a red stained glass paint on top of this one here, and then we're going to place down a red nether brick wall back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red concrete blocks, a red nether brick wall again to both sides here, and then we're going to place down 2 more red stained glass panes going forward from those walls like so. We then want to take our red concrete. We're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4 red concrete blocks back. 1, 2, 3, 4 back from those walls. And then we're going to go to the side here of this fourth one, place down a red nether brick wall and a red stained glass pane going forward. Same thing over here on this side as well. Then we want to go and go back from the red nether brick wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 red concrete blocks back. So ending on top of this last lightning rod from the previous layer. Now we're going to then go to our third from last red concrete block. We're going to place down our red stained glass pane to the side of it, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 going forward. We're going to go and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 red nether brick walls, and then 1, 2, 3 red stained glass panes. So once we have that side done, we're going to go and do the same thing over here. So just like this, bringing this row all the way back. And then we're going to go and take our red stained glass panes, build off the side here like this. So we have our 5, and then we have our red nether brick walls all the way along the side here until we get to this point. And then our 3 red stained glass panes. So very simple, just like that to the sides there, like so. And then when it comes to the back here, we're going to go and take our red concrete, and we're going to start off first by going ahead and placing down a red nether brick top slab coming off these blocks here. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 blocks on the inside here of the slab, and these 2 full blocks to cover up those gaps left by the walls. Then we want to go ahead and place down 2 red nether brick walls on top of these 2 here. And we're going to place down 2 red concrete blocks down the center like that. After those red concrete blocks, you're going to place down 2 red nether brick top slabs, and then we're going to go and place down 2 acacia wood trapdoors going back from those top slabs. After that, we're going to go and place down 2 red nether brick walls on top of the glass pane and this wall here, so just like that to both sides, and also a acacia wood trapdoor here coming off both sides of that red nether brick top slab. After that's all done though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for basically this layer. Now I personally like to fill the inside in here of my ships just to kind of make them a little bit more solid. This is up to you guys, but definitely not a necessary thing to do. And I do know that I mentioned before that we would be doing the ship half on, half off. I guess we're only doing that for the first layer. I kind of got a little ahead of myself there and just continued on up, and for some reason just decided to do it. So there we go. But that's both sides of the ship built up, and this here is what it should look like for the top-down view with that all done. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 3, which again should probably be all done by us in one go and no half on, half off. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. Now layer 3 here is where we're going to start to get into the actual hull section that is going to be above water. So unfortunately we do get into the section where we start to have this camouflage pop up, so just be sure you're taking your time making sure that you're getting the camouflage right. It's not really that big of a deal, but it is something that's going to be a little bit more time consuming for everybody to do, so again, just make sure you're taking your time with it and all that. Now to start off with, we're going to be going ahead and using our polished black stone and then our blue terracotta. Now where we're trying to do this light, this kind of ocean blue, I think is what they call it, or this ocean gray color, this is what we're representing it with. We're representing with gray stained glass panes, blue terracotta, and polished black stone, so that's that color. And then obviously our black is going to be nether brick, and black concrete, and then we have obviously our stone, just using stone material. So just keep that in mind going forward. That's what the colors are there to represent. Anyways though, we're going to place down our 2 stone blocks. This first block here, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor to both sides if you're on Java, and we can use this tool called the debug stick. This can be obtained by typing the command /give Minecraft :debug_stick. So this command here, and pressing enter will give you this glowing stick. Now what you can do here is you can left click the trapdoor till you get selected open false, or right click it, set to true on both sides, and it'll look just like that. Now if you are not on Java and can't do that, not really a big deal. You can go ahead and just skip that step as it's not really that important. We're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane to both sides here, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a blue terracotta block, again a gray stained glass pane, so not light gray, but make sure it's gray. And then we're going to go ahead and place down another blue terracotta block back and a polished black stone wall to both sides. So again, just a reminder, these whole sections are going to take a little bit longer because we are going to have to be switching between a lot of blocks. So just keep that in mind going forward here. Once we get to this point though, we're going to take our stone, we're going to place down a row of 3 of stone across, and then a second row of 3. We then want to take our black concrete, and we're going to place down a row of 3 of black concrete, followed by a second, and then a third row. So 3 rows of 3 going across there. We're going to go ahead and grab some nether brick walls and black stained glass panes. We're going to place down another brick wall here and 2 black stained glass panes going forward like this along the side there of those black concrete blocks. Next section here, we're going to place down a row of 5 of black concrete across, followed by a second row. Then you have 3 and 4, just like that. Again, filling that space in. On the last 2 rows, you're going to place down black stained glass panes to the sides. So just like that. Then we want to go ahead and take our stone. We're going to place down a row of 5 of stone, and then a second row of 5 after that. This will be followed with a andesite wall on the ends of there of those 2 rows of 5. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 7 of stone, and this is going to be a pretty long section here. So we have 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 rows of 7. So again, a bit tedious there, but it is going to be filling in that good chunk there of that build. Now we're going to go ahead and take our black concrete, and we're going to place down 3 rows of 7. So again, just like before, we have 1, 2, and lastly 3. Now once we get to this point, we're going to place down 3 rows of 5 of black concrete, so just like that. And then we're going to take our nether brick walls and place down our nether brick walls on the sides here of those rows of black concrete. We're going to go then take our stone, and we're going to build a row of 5 with stone across, and then a second row of 5. We'll take our andesite walls, we're going to place down an andesite wall to both sides, and then a light gray stained glass pane going back from those walls. Switching back to our black concrete, we're going to place down another row of 5 of black concrete, followed by a second row and then a third row, so you have 3 rows of 5 there. And we're going to place down black stained glass panes on the sides of the first 2 rows. So just like that. Then after we have that done, we're going to place down 2 rows of 3 of black concrete. We're going to have our nether brick walls to the sides there. And then we want to go ahead and place down another set of 2 of black concrete. So 2 rows of 3. And then black stained glass panes to the sides there of those blocks. Then on the very back here, we're going to place down a black concrete block here in the center, another brick wall to both sides, another black concrete block in the center, and a black stained glass pane to both sides as well after that. And then lastly, just another brick wall here on the very back. So just like that to go and finish it off. And this right here is what you should have now with this layer 3 all complete. Here's a top-down view. I went ahead and did it so that the stripes or the black are basically just your color is going all the way across to kind of make things a little bit easier to see where the striping is and all that stuff. So again, this is what it should look like from the top-down view, and that is going to wrap up everything we have here for layer 3. With that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, which will be layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down a blue terracotta block on top of this wall here, and we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks. We're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and placing down gray stained glass panes, come off the sides of the second and third blocks from front, and then polish black stone walls on the sides of the remaining blocks going back. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves some gray wool, and we're going to place down 2 gray wool blocks down the center, which is going to be followed with 2 blue terracotta blocks to the sides of those gray wool blocks. On this second gray stained glass pane up here in the front, we're going to place down an item frame to both sides. In that item frame, we're going to place down a crossbow and rotate it so it faces downwards for the anchors on the side of the bow of the ship. Going ahead and going back from that, we want to take our gray wool. We're going to place down 1 and 2 gray wool blocks here down the center, and we're going to go ahead and then take our stone and place down 2 stone blocks on the sides there of those. Once we have that all finished there, we're going to go ahead and take our light gray stained glass panes, and we're going to place down 2 light gray stained glass panes to both sides, just like this. Next segment here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of gray wool across. This is going to be followed with another brick wall on both ends, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a black concrete block going back from those nether brick walls, and then another row of 3 of gray wool across. We want to go ahead and then go back from our black concrete here. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, and 4 black concrete blocks, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the middle space here, we're just going to fill in with some gray wool, so just get that filled in completely, just like that. Now to the sides, we're going to go and place down another brick wall that's going to come off this last black concrete block, as well as one more wall that goes back. And then going forward from this, we're going to place down 2 black stained glass panes. So again, same thing here on both sides. Then taking our gray wool, we're going to fill in the space in between these walls here with a row of 5 of gray wool. To the sides, we're going to place down black concrete. And then we're going to take our stone. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stone. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 black concrete. I'm going to go and double check my count here, and it is going to be 6, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then after we have that done, we want to go ahead and then place down a red nether brick wall, and then 2 polished blackstone walls, same thing over here, red nether brick wall, and 2 polished blackstone walls. Now, behind the blocks here, we're going to go ahead and take our gray wool, and we're just going to basically just fill in a row all the way across here, and then a second row of 3, row of 5, and we're just going to fill this whole space in. So we are going to need to fill this space in. This was going to be part of the decking. Some of this is going to be exposed, some of it won't, with the superstructure added on top of it. But just for the sake of making things easier, I think in the tutorial, it is best just to go ahead and fill this whole space in with gray wool. So again, just rows of 5 going all the way down until we connect up to the front up here. So we have that all filled in completely like so. Now once we get to this point, we're going to take our black concrete, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go ahead and go to the side. We're going to place down a row of 3 of black stained glass panes. So we have a row of 3 there, and a row of 3 here. Then again, we're going to fill in the space in the middle here with 4 rows of 3 of gray wool. And then we're going to place down a stone block to both sides. Going back from that stone block, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 andesite walls. Again, 3 rows of 3 of gray wool filling that space in the middle. And then we're going to place down 2 gray wool blocks down the center here, 2 stone blocks to the sides, and then we're going to place down light gray stained glass panes coming off those blocks, so 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then on the very back here, we're going to place down another gray wool block, which will be followed up with a nether brick wall to both sides, and then a black concrete block coming off the last gray wool block there, and a black stained glass pane in the corners like that. We'll also go ahead and take a lever, and we're going to place down a lever coming off the black concrete block on the back here, just like that. And once you have that all done, that's going to wrap up everything we have here for layer number 4 of the build. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like. So again, the camouflage here is going to be a little bit different because we have to fill in the top of the deck there, so that gray wool starts to come into play. Fill in that center, we don't have those straight lines across, but as you can see, still pretty straightforward, I think, in the camouflage and how it's laid out around the sides of the ship. But that right there is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 4, and with that, that's going to complete the hull of the build. At this point going forward, we will be going ahead and basically strictly working on superstructure parts. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our first layer of superstructure, which will be layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a daylight detector on this very front block, turn that to the night mode, so you have that light bluish gray color, with your skeleton skull coming off the side, and then to the sides on the outside here of this daylight detector, so it's going to look like that there. We're going to place down a second daylight detector back, turn that to night mode, and then we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle on top of these glass panes like that to both sides. Going back from this, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 flower pots to the sides of these trapdoors, going back like that. This middle space here, we're going to place down a redstone repeater, separate the notches from each other like so. And going back from the redstone repeater, we're going to count back 1, 2, this third block. We're going to place down a polished black stone brick stair, and then a corner stair coming off both sides like that. Coming off those stairs, we're going to go and take our end rods. We're going to place down 2 end rods coming off each of these stairs for the forward guns. If you're on Java, we can also place down item frames underneath these end rods, and in those item frames, we can go ahead and place down some gray stained glass panes, just to go ahead and kind of help keep that deck color a little bit more consistent. Then we're going to place down an iron bar on top of this skull up here in the front to go ahead and finish off the bow of our ship. Now once we have this done, we're going to go and place down a blue terracotta block here. This is going to be followed with a polished black stone wall to both sides of this block. And then we're going to take some polished black stone stairs, place down an upside down stair in the middle, and then an upside down corner stair to both sides of that stair. And that's going to complete the first turret we have here. Now, once that's all done, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves some stone buttons, and we're going to place down a stone button to both sides here behind those corner stairs. In this middle space here, we're going to place down black concrete, followed by another brick wall to both sides of that. We're going to place down another black concrete block going back from those nether brick walls, and then another nether brick wall to both sides. This middle space here, we're just going to fill in with 2 gray concrete blocks, just like that. Now, once we get to this point, coming off the nether brick walls, we're going to place down a black concrete block to both sides, and we're going to have a black stained glass pane coming off those blocks like that. We're going to go ahead and place down another 2 black concrete blocks going back from the black stained glass panes, And the space in the middle here, again, we're just going to fill in with gray wool. So we have 2 rows of 3 and then the 1 right there that fills that space in. This next section here, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone block to both sides. Again, a row of 3 of gray concrete. Then we're going to place down a andesite wall to both sides here. And this is again going to be followed up with a row of 3 of gray concrete, or gray wool, and then a second row of 3 and a third row of 3. And on this third row of 3 to the sides, we're going to place down andesite walls again. And we then want to go and place down a iron trap door that's going to come off these gray wall blocks in the middle there. And then a stone brick stair to both sides. And coming off that stone brick stair, we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate and open it up toward the stair like that to go ahead and create your secondary 5-inch guns. Now also along the sides here of the ship, we do want to go ahead and grab ourselves some levers. We're going to place down a lever right here on top of this black concrete block, and if you're on Java, we can also fit a item frame underneath the lever, which kind of creates a nice design there. Same thing over here, we can do that on this side as well. Now once that's all done, we're going to go and then take our flower pots. We're going to build 1, 2, 3 flower pots, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3. After we have that all done, we'll also grab some gray wool, and for the front section here, we're just going to place down gray, or I should say gray carpet on top of this narrow brick wall and these 5 black concrete blocks. So just kind of covering them up, or sorry, these 4 black concrete blocks, helping keep that deck color. And again, we're going to place down some gray carpet in these sections here to, again, keep that deck color. Next, we're going to place down a stone block again to both sides, another row of 3 of gray wool. This time we're going to place down another brick wall to both sides, another row of 3 of gray wool, second row of 3, and then a third row. And again, on both sides of this third row, we're going to place down another brick wall. We're going to go then grab ourselves some iron trapdoors. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor like this to both sides. And then after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and grab another brick stair and place down another brick stair coming off the iron trapdoor with a dark oak wood fence gate coming off the front here of those stairs. Again, we'll fill in the middle section in with some gray wool to fill in the deck there like that. Now going ahead and continuing on back, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some black concrete. We're going to place down 2 black concrete blocks back from those walls. Again, fill the inside in here with some gray wool. Then we're going to place down another row of 3 of gray wool across. This is going to be followed with an andesite wall to both ends. And then we're going to place down a stone block like this to both sides, gray wool in the center, and then a light gray stained glass pane. This next section here, we're going to take our black concrete, just place down a row of 3 of black concrete across. Then we want to place down a one blue terracotta block here in the center, which will be followed with a polished black stone wall to both sides, and then one more blue terracotta block going back, which will have a gray stained glass pane to the sides of it like that. So that's going to start forming up the back there. Now for, again, some of the deck details here, we have an anti-aircraft gun that's going to be sitting right here. So we're going to place down a lever and then a item frame right in front of that black concrete block. Same thing over here. And then we'll go ahead and take a flower pot. We're going to place down a flower pot here to both sides. And then we're going to place down 2 flower pots right here and right here. And then we'll just go ahead and take some gray carpet and place them on these blocks here and on these going forward. So same thing will happen over here. Just like this and just like that. So that's going to fill in the deck there and get that situated and looking good. Now once we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and then place down a blue terracotta block that's going to sit right here. So a space of 1, polished black stone upside down stair, a corner stair to both sides of that upside down stair, then a polished black stone wall in those spaces, and then we're going to go and take our polished black stone brick stairs, place a stair here, and a corner stair to both sides like that. And then taking our end rods, we're just going to place down 2 end rods coming off each of these stairs. Then taking gray wool, we're going to place down 2 gray wool blocks, or gray carpet along the side here, and then a flower pot to both sides and another gray carpet to both sides, followed by again another flower pot. After that's done, for our catapults here, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 daylight detectors, so 1, 2, turn those to night mode, and then a stone brick slab. If you want to have the aircraft or have like some planes actually mounted on the ship, you're more than welcome to do that. You'll be placing down a warped fence gate here. If you don't want to have any planes on the catapults back here, you can just use a daylight detector. But for us, we're going to go ahead and add the planes, so we're going to place down a fence gate here, and then we're going to place down a daylight detector that goes back from it and turn it to the night mode. So it'll look like that there for us to mount the plane on later. Now on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So we have our stone brick slab, our daylight detectors, And again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this left side here without the plane so you can kind of see what it looks like. So we're just going to do our 2 daylight detectors straight back like this. So again, this side will have the plane, this side will not have a plane. So just kind of helps you visualize that a little bit better so you can pick and choose what you want to do. Once that's done though, we're going to place down a daylight detector that's going to go on this block right here. And then back from that, we want to go ahead and place down a gray carpet. So going to place down 1 gray carpet back from that. On both sides, we're going to place down a stone brick stair like this. And then we want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull here in the corner. So it's going to come off these glass panes here at a corner like that on both sides. In that middle space there, we're going to go ahead and place down an anvil. And on top of that, we're going to place down a end rod that goes up from the lever there. And just to finish off that little rear mast here, we're going to place down an iron bar that goes off the end rod at an angle like that back to go ahead and finish that design there. So that's it for that. And then also for the seaplane, if you want to build this out a little bit further, we're going to place down a birchwood a warped fence gate. Open this out to the side. Same thing right here. Open it out to the side. And again, we'll be expanding upon that a little bit further. However, once you have that done, we're going to place down a gray carpet here. And if you don't have the seaplane, you're going to go ahead and place down 2 gray carpets here. So again, you'll have 1 gray carpet here with the seaplane, 2 gray carpets without. And also, again, if you're on Java, underneath the fence gate, you can also throw in an item frame with a gray stained glass pane to help kind of blend into the deck a little bit more. It works a little bit, not perfect, but just kind of, again, helps, keep that darker color for the deck. And then lastly, for some final details here, we're going to go and take some stone buttons. We're going to place down a stone button here, and then 2 like that going back there for the deck. So really simple and straightforward for that. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 5. Again, a bit of a longer layer, mainly just because we have the alternating colors we have to contest with, so makes things a little bit more trickier. But here's what it should look like from the top-down view once complete. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 6. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 6. Layer 6 here is going to start by going ahead and getting our turret number 2 built. This is going to begin with by placing on a polished black stone brick stair here, and then a polished black stone brick corner stair to both sides of that. So it's going to look like that there. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 end rods going forward from those stairs, like that, to go ahead and get the front of that turret facing, or done. Now, on top of the turret in front of it, we're going to place down a row of gray carpet across the space here to help keep this gray color consistent on the top of the turret. We're also going to place down item frames here, and if you're on Java, and then gray stained glass panes underneath those, in those item frames like that again, if you're on Java. We then want to place down a blue terracotta block here in the center, and again, a polished black stone wall to both sides like that. On the back here, we're going to place down a this is actually going to be another brick stair, so we're going to have another brick upside down stair and another brick upside down corner stair, like that for our camo. We're going to go ahead and then place down another blue terracotta block back down the center here, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 black concrete blocks down the center as well. Now we're going to take our nether brick walls, and we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, like that on the sides. We're also going to go ahead and place down a lever that's going to sit on top of this black concrete block here, and this one over here with an item frame underneath it, just like that. Again, if you're on Java. We're also going to place down some gray carpet on this block and this block here, like so. Now, once you have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down another brick stair that's going to go on top of this block here, and then coming off it, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate for another 5-inch secondary gun. Then we're going to place down another black concrete block. This here will be followed up with a dark oak wood trapdoor. So let me go and grab that real quick. So we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor like this to both sides. And I would also recommend swapping out this trapdoor right here behind your 5-inch guns for a dark oak wood trapdoor as well to help keep that black color. We're going to go then place down 3 black concrete blocks across this space here. And then another block in the center. Which, actually, sorry, a second row of 3 after that. And then after we have that second row of 3 done, we're going to go ahead and place down another brick wall, just like that. Now, we want to go and place down another nether brick stair here, and this is going to have a dark oak wood fence gate coming off of it, opened up toward it. Same thing over here, just like this. And then we're going to place down an end rod on these 2 blocks here next to that wall. Continuing on, we're going to place down a black concrete block, so we're going to skip a space from this wall, place down a black concrete block, and we're going to go ahead and then place down some smooth quartz blocks here to the sides, going back from those end rods. And then we're going to place down some white beds on the very outside here, so a white bed like that to both sides. We then want to place down another black concrete block here in the center, and then another brick stair to both sides, as well as a dark oak fence gate coming off the front here of these walls, or of these stairs, so like that. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 more black concrete blocks back, so you have a total of 3 here. And we're going to go ahead and then again place down gray carpet on these 2 blocks right there in that section. Once we get to this point, we're going to take our stone and we're going to build a row of 3 of stone across, a row of 3 of blue terracotta, and then we want to go ahead and place down a black concrete block with another brick wall to both sides, another blue terracotta block with a gray stained glass pane to the sides of it. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down another lever right here for an anti-aircraft gun, as well as an item frame underneath it if you're on Java. And then for everybody, or then all the way around this, we're going to go ahead and place down gray carpet like that to keep that gray color for the top of the turret. Now after that's done, moving back here to the rear of the ship, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick wall that's going to go on top of this anvil here. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull coming off the back here of that wall. So it should look like this here. Now for the seaplanes, to go ahead and include these if you are planning on doing so, you will need some warp slabs, some warp stairs, a skeleton skull, and also some blue carpet. We're going to place down a slab here, then a skeleton skull, a warped stair, and then we're going to place down a blue carpet on top of those fence gates there. So that's going to create your seaplane. Real simple design for it, and obviously if you don't have the seaplane, it'll look like that on the side there. But again, you can pick and choose on how you want to go about that. So that right there is going to wrap up everything we have for this layer, so things are getting a little bit quicker. Real quick also, one thing I noticed here is we do also want a flower pot on top of this light gray stainless plane, so just make sure you add that in. But once that's all done, that is going to wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Here again is a top-down view, and as you can see, things are really starting to come together on her. But with that, let's move on to our next layer, which will be layer number 7. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 7. For layer 7 to get started with here, we'll be going ahead and going to our turret 2, and we're going to place down a redstone repeater on top of this nether brick upstairs stair and separate the notches. We then want to place down gray carpet, and it's going to go ahead and wrap around it on top of those stairs and walls. We then want to place down a blue terracotta block on top of this block here, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a polished blackstone button to both sides of it. Then behind this, we're going to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 more of your blue terracotta, a gray stained glass paint on both sides of this first one, and then we're going to go ahead and grab a polished blackstone wall and place down a polished blackstone wall going back on both sides like that. Then we're going to take our black concrete, build 2 black concrete blocks back down the center here, then 2 nether brick stairs to both sides like that. On the sides here, we're going to go ahead and grab some item frames and also some white beds. We're going to place down 2 item frames, so 1 on this wall, 1 on the stair, and white beds in those item frames rotated sideways. Same thing will happen over here on this side as well. So just like that. And then again, we're going to place down our dark liquid signs on the sides there if you're on Java. So again, Java is the only version that can place down signs and item frames in the same block space. And actually, my bad, we're going to go ahead and move this forward one. So we're going to place down we're going to place down an item frame on the glass pane here. Again, a bed and a dark liquid sign. And we're actually going to go delete the item frame right here, but we're going to go ahead and place down a sign. So we're just going to shift that forward one. My apologies on that one, but really a simple fix, which is nice. And then we just want to go ahead and grab ourselves a wither skeleton skull. And we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull here on both sides of the stair. Now, after that's done, we then want to go ahead and place down a flower pot that is going to sit on top of these 2 trapdoors here. And we're going to go ahead and then place down some scaffolding on top of this. And then to the sides here, in that middle space, we can go ahead and place down a polished black stone brick stair, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and then place down a black concrete block here, which will be followed up with a nether brick wall right behind it. So it will look like that there. And then another brick wall here to both sides as well. And then an upside down nether brick stair on both sides of this wall, like that. On top of the boats here, or your middle life rafts, we're going to place down some polished blackstone buttons just to go ahead and cover those up like that. And then we're going to go ahead and grab some stone. We're going to place down a stone block here. And then a andesite wall right behind that stone block. And actually, sorry, it's going to go back 1 more. So you're going to have one black concrete block, then a stone block, and then your andesite wall like that. And we then want to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence post that's going to go up from this point here. Now once you get to this point, we're going to go and grab a stone brick stair. We're going to place down a stone brick stair here in the center. And we're also going to go ahead and grab an anvil. And we're going to place down an anvil to the sides. And we're going to go off the anvil with a stone brick top slab. So just like that to both sides there. After that's all done, we're going to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 blue terracotta blocks here down the center. This will be followed with a polished black stone upside down stair to both sides. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a polished black stone wall directly after that. Then we just want to place down a black concrete block that's going to sit here, and a black stained glass pane to both sides of this black concrete block, just like that. After that is all done there, that's going to wrap up what we have there for the superstructure. Just making sure I didn't miss anything and everything appears to be good to go. So moving to the very back here, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick upside down stair that goes up from that wall. So just like this. And just to finish off the crane so we don't have to worry about it any further, we're going to place down 2 stone brick slabs like this. We'll grab some levers, and we're going to place down a lever on the bottom of this slab pointed this way, and then a lever on top of this stair, and a lever on the back here flicked downwards. So it will look just like that, and then we just want to place down a chain that's going to come off the bottom there, like so. And that's going to complete your crane there. There's nothing for us to do with the seaplanes or anything like that, so that is everything we have for that, and we are good to go. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like with everything complete. And as you can see, we're really starting to get the ship coming together here. So with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, which will be layer number 8. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 8. For layer 8, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down first a flower pot that's going to go on top of this block here. And then a gray or a blue terracotta block right behind it, followed by a second block. To the side of these blocks, we're going to place down gray stained glass panes. And then we want to place down 2 black concrete blocks, a black stained glass pane to both sides of that first block, and then that second block is going to have another brick upside down stair to both sides. And we are going to go ahead and take a dark oak wood sign. We're going to place it down on the sides here of these blocks, just like that, and also on the side of this full block here. We're going to go ahead and also grab barrier blocks. Now, barrier blocks can be obtained by typing the command /give at P, and you can just type in barrier, and it should work. Pressing enter will give you this block here. So again, that's the command right there for it if you are interested. But yeah, barrier blocks here, basically just invisible blocks. I believe they're also known as structure blocks on bedrock. So you're going to be using these blocks to do some of the rigging here for the ship. So we're just going to place down a barrier block here to both sides, and then we're just going to place down a button on the side of this block. So really straightforward and simple stuff there for that. Then all we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and grab some flower pots. We're going to place down a flower pot here to both sides, and then we want to place down a stone block here, and then a andesite wall, and then an andesite wall to both sides of this stone block, like that. We're going to go ahead and then grab a lever, and also, again, an item frame for my Java players. We're going to place down an item frame, lever, and then an item frame underneath it. Again, if you're on Java, same thing over here. Now, once that's all done there, for your second funnel here, we're going to place down a black concrete block. And then behind that, we're going to place down a andesite wall. And we're going to go ahead and then place down an andesite wall on top of these anvils. And we're going to go ahead and take our stone brick slabs and go up at an angle. So we have a half slab and a top slab going forward here for your cranes. And we can go ahead and go to the top here, this button, and just place down a chain as well, which will be part of the crane system we'll complete in the next layer. Now, after that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down another lever on top of these stairs here. And then item frames like that underneath them. We're going to place down a blue concrete block, or a blue terracotta block between them, and then 1 and 2 blue terracotta blocks back, and then a polished black stone upside down stair. We then want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood sign on the back here, and for this, we're actually going to go ahead and grab some wither skeleton skulls since they'll blend a little bit better, and we're going to place down 2 wither skeleton skulls here to the sides. And we'll also place down a gray carpet on top of this wall, like that, as well to both sides there. Once you have that all done right there, that's going to wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Again, just making sure I'm not missing anything, and everything does appear to be good to go. So that is going to be it for layer number 8 of the build. Again, here is a top-down view of what it will look like. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 9. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 9. For layer 9, to go ahead and get started with this, we're going to be going ahead and first starting off by placing down a dark oak wood trapdoor that's going to sit above this flower pot here. And we're going to place down dark oak wood signs around the sides here of that. Once we have that done, we're going to place down another dark oak wood trapdoor, and we're going to place down another wither skeleton skull to the sides of that block like that. Once that's all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a polished black stone wall here, an item frame to the sides of that, and then we're going to place down a snowball in the item frames like that. We then want to place down a polished black stone stair that goes back, and this is going to be followed with a flower pot on top of these black stained glass panes here. And then we're going to place down a black concrete block on the back of that polished black stone stair. Now we'll then take our lever, we're going to place down a lever here on top of these stairs, and we're going to go ahead and place down our item frame underneath these levers, just like that. Going up from the barrier blocks that we set up in the previous layer, we're going to place down one more barrier block that goes up, and then a button on the sides there of those barrier blocks. We're going to place down another stone block, and then an andesite wall here on the back, just like that. Once that's all done, we're going to place down a stone brick stair, birchwood sign, and same thing over here, stone brick stair, and a birchwood sign. Now, once we have that all done there, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves a just a random block. It could be whatever you want. This can be more for Java players, but we're going to build a block out to the sides here of this stair. So just like this all the way around. So basically coming off that birchwood fence gate. And to kind of add some more detail here to these gun control directors, we're going to go ahead and place down a tripwire hook on the sides of these blocks like this. So they're next to the stair. And we're going to go ahead and take our debug stick and left click this, and we're going to go ahead and do selected facing and rotate this till they come off the side of the stair. So just a really nice way to go ahead and create a really nice design here for these fire control directors. But that will be right there on both sides of those right there. After that, we're going to go ahead and then place down a stone brick slab on top of these chains here. So real simple. And we're going to go ahead and then take our blue terracotta and place down a blue terracotta block here, and then another brick wall right behind it. After that, we're going to place down another birchwood fence post up right here, and I forgot to do in the previous layer, so we're actually going to place down 1 and 2, so it should be at this level here. And then we want to go ahead and place down a grindstone that's going to be on top of these walls here. We're going to go ahead and then take chains, place down 3 chains going forward from those grindstones to connect us up to the stone brick slabs. So it'll look just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and place down another andesite wall here, and then a polished black stone brick stair coming off that like that. On top of these levers, we're going to place down a flower pot like that to both sides. And then lastly, on the back here, we're just going to place down a polished black stone wall, and then a flower pot on top of these 2 with their skeleton skulls, and a gray carpet on top of this stair. So to finish that off on the back there. And that right there is going to pretty much complete what we have for layer number 9 for this build. At this point in time, we're probably just going to go ahead and jump into our last final layers. So that'll include the rest of the tops of the funnels and the masts and all that. So again, here's a top-down view of what everything looks like with layer 9 completed. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our last final layers of the build. Moving into our last final layers, we have layers 10 through 17. For these layers, we're going to be going ahead and starting off with going to the top here of our conning tower. We're going to place down a polished blackstone stair like this here on the front. We're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak sign that's going to come off the front here of the stair. For some reason, this doesn't want to update, so that's really cool. So after we have the sign and the stair put together, we're going to go ahead and skip a space out to the side from these stairs here. We're going to place down a tripwire hook on the sides of these, and we're going to go ahead and then take our debug stick and basically rotate these around to connect up to the sides of the stair. So just like that, pretty straightforward and simple. We're going to place down there a blue terracotta block here, and then a wither skeleton skull coming off the side of this blue terracotta block. We're also going to place down dark oak signs wrapped around the sides of this block. And we're going to take our barrier blocks, and we're going to go up with one more going up, and then a second one out to the side here. What we're going to do for our stone buttons is we're going to place down 2 stone buttons like this along the sides there, facing toward the back. Now we're going to go ahead and then place down another stone block that goes up like this. This will be followed with a item frame. So just like this, and then a snowball coming off that item frame. On this forward section, we're going to place down a dark oak fence gate, dark oak trap door, and then another stone block up like this. And then we're going to place down a stone stair on the top here. Now on the stone stair on the top, we're going to place down a birchwood sign that's going to come off the front of the stair, so like this, and then a fence gate to the sides. We also want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull that's going to come off the sides of this stone block here, and then we're going to place down an end rod back, and then 2 end rods to the sides, like that. Then going ahead and continue on, we're going to place down another end rod that goes up here, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a anvil that's going to sit on top of this section here, and then a skeleton skull on the sides of this anvil. We then want to place down a stone brick upside down stair that's going to go on top of this end rod here. So like this, except facing that way. There we go. And then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and place down our iron bars. So we're going to place down a row of 3 of iron bars, and then a second row of 3 for the radar up on top. On the back here of the stair as well, we want to go ahead and place down a lever, and we're going to place down 2 end rods up, and then a iron bar on top. So that's going to complete that mast set up there. And then for a little bit of the detailing here, we have some radio antenna. So we're going to build 1, 2 antenna up, 1, 2. Same thing on top of the fence gates here. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. So it's just going to build up like that. And that's going to round off that section there. Now when it comes to your funnels, we're going to go ahead and continue to build these up. We're going to place down some blue terracotta here, and then a polished blackstone wall right behind it. We want to go ahead and grab our polished blackstone. We're going to place down a slab on top, and then a wither skeleton skull toward the back here. And then we want to go ahead and take our debug stick here. Now you can find an alternative if you're not in Java. Good alternative here could be some dark oak with fence gates. Could work pretty well, so you can do some fence gates here like this to both sides. But really your best bet here, again, is going to be using the debug stick. And we have this tripwire hooks that we're going to place on both sides here and rotate them around to come off the sides here of the slab. And then what we can do from there is we can grab some iron bars and go up with 2 iron bars from those tripwire hooks, and it looks really good for the radio antenna that are located here. Then on the back here of this wither skeleton skull, we're going to do the same thing. So again, place down a tripwire hook and rotate this around like that. And then we're going to place down our iron bars going up. Then we're going to place down a blue terracotta block on top of this second funnel, and then a polished blackstone wall back from that. Tripwire hook going forward, and this is going to have a 1 iron bar and then a chain. We have to do the chain because we don't want the connection between these iron bars to happen. Then we're going to go ahead and grab a black carpet and place down a black carpet on top of this. And then go into this rear mast, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 more birchwood fence posts up. And on the very top of it, we're just going to place down a birchwood fence gate and open it up toward the front, as well as 2 end rods coming off the sides of this very top fence post. So like that. We want to go ahead and then take our barrier blocks, and also for the front here, I did forget to do this, but for the front here, for our barrier blocks, we're going to place down 2 barrier blocks here, and 2 barrier blocks over here, and we're going to take our stone buns and wrap them around the 1 block and then on the sides of these 2 blocks. So basically just going ahead and detailing that up like that. Then when it comes to this section back here, we're going to take our barrier blocks here again, and we're going to build 1, 2, and then 1, 2 out to the side. So again, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 out to the side. And our buttons here, we're going to place down 1, 2 buttons. Then we have 1, 2, and then 1. So again, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. So just make sure the orientation on those is correct. Now, after that's done, we're going to go ahead and take our barrier blocks again, and we're going to go ahead and do a row that comes off the center fence post, 1, 2, 3, going toward the front. Stone buttons on both sides of those barrier blocks. Then we want to go ahead and drop down to this end rod here. We're going to go off this. We're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 barrier blocks going forward, and we're going to have our stone buttons on top of those 3 barrier blocks like that. So again, for our rigging there in the middle between the masts. Lastly, for this back section here, we're going to go ahead and place down a anvil that's going to sit on top of this wall, and then a skeleton skull again to both sides. Then a flower pot on top of the stair, and then another polished black stone brick stair on top of this wall. Again, we're going to place down a dark oak sign on the front of it. And for my Java players, we're going to go ahead and place down a block to the sides. And we're going to take our tripwire hook, and we're going to place down a tripwire hook and rotate it around. So a tripwire hook to both sides. And we're just going to go ahead and rotate this around to come off the sides of the stair. So really straightforward and simple, and that right there will finish it off. And once you have that all done right there, that's going to wrap up what we have for layers 10 through 17 of the build. And with that, that's going to wrap up my design here for the USS North Carolina class fast battleship. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do have using this build, I do ask you guys to give proper credit for it. This can be anything from the style of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. And that right there is going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I will see you guys next time.